Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zakabane101 and welcome to another exciting episode of Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition. And if you've been wondering where I've been, well, my computer has been malfunctioning like crazy. You may have read that on my YouTube or on any of my live streams that I've been doing as of late, of which I've said that my computer is completely malfunctioning and I need to fix it. Unfortunately, the computer is not completely fixed as of right now. So if anything happens like a crash or something like that and you'll see a cut in the video, that would probably be the explanation as to why there would be said cut. But other than that, we have now killed the illusion of Gwyndolin, the daughter of Gwyn, who is the main goal, our main target, I guess you could say, of our playthrough. And now Gwyndolin is a little bit angry that we killed the illusion of Gwyndolin. Or say we broke the illusion of Gwyndolin. And this is what Anor Londo relatively does look like now. Or we are basically perishing in the Twilight of Anor Londo, which is actually not as dangerous as the illusioned Anor Londo, the one that is the way of light, I guess you could say. So, the only difference really between Dark and Light Anor Londo is the fact that Dark Anor Londo is a lot safer, I would have to say. Dark Anor Londo is one of those places that are more geared towards PvP. And PvP because anyone that still has Light Anor Londo will be working with Gwyn, or Gwyndolin's Covenant. Now, we see the two partners of Lautrec, and actually we have his ring right now, and I'm about to drop this ring and not use it ever again. And the reason for it is because I'm going to replace it with the Hornet ring, and any other rings here. I kind of find that now I never use the Ring of Protection. I've beaten the game now for my third time, and honestly the Ring of Protection is just too good of a ring. And once you equip it, you tend to never take it off. It's kind of just a balancing act. Anyway, these guys are, well, they don't even work with Lautrec either. Lautrec actually has a sorcerer and a warrior with him. I believe it's the guy on the right there, but I could be wrong. But he is wearing Boletaria or Baronique. I think he's a knight of Baronique. He's wearing basically Iron Tarkus's gear. I think he is wearing Iron Tarkus's gear. No, he's not. He's wearing steel. So, yeah, we have a Balder Knight, a human Balder Knight, and we have a Knight of Baronique. I hope I'm getting that right. But yeah, it seems like it. Anyway, the Hornet Ring would be nice in this situation here. And I kind of have grown fond of the Hornet Ring in both single-player and PvP action, of course. You do more bonus damage to everything in the game, and you get a sweet parry and repose animation, including backstab animation in most cases here. However, these guys are fairly easy to take out, unless they parry you with probably the best weapon in the game to parry you with. Wow, I could potentially die here. Needless to say, I haven't fought or played Dark Souls against these guys in a long time. I actually now leave Anor Londo in the light phase because I can see better. That's the only reason. There is no other great reason than to do that. And wow, I am just getting my ass kicked right now. I'm probably gonna get killed. Oh boy. There we go. And here comes this guy, and he's gonna want to stab me real bad. He's gonna want to eat my brains or something, I don't know. It's going a little crazy here. And generally, if you want to heal against these guys, you do have to run away a fair bit. The backstabs seem to be the best way to take them out, unless you're good enough at parrying them. I'm not good at parrying people that have heavy weapons. Unless I use something like the parrying dagger. Not actually a bad weapon of choice. Let's try it out. It's actually, you get 8 frames of invincibility or of reposting. It's easier to repost. Let's see if we can get him. There we go. See, it's a little bit easier. If you want to learn more about parrying, you should definitely check out Vegeta 311 series on parrying in Dark Souls, because he did a lot of work on it, and he knows a lot more than me. Oh my god, I have a low-level Baldur Shield right now, guys. This is bad. Not very good for me. I generally don't use that. Anyway, let's just use a heal here. But as you can see, the giants are gone. No giants to worry about. So that's always good. And we can go straight over to Andre the Giant. Or, well, he's not Andre. He's just a giant. You could pass for Andre the Giant, though. Come on now. The undead version, I guess. But anyway, it's... I don't know. I like both Dark and Light Anor Londo. They both fit in the story really well. I just like making it Dark Anor Londo because they don't have to worry about like half the monsters that were here. I don't even think the gargoyles are still there. Nope. No gargoyles, no silver knights. Everything that would have normally been protecting the Light Anor Londo has now been taken out. Because they have nothing to defend anymore, so they're all gone and eradicated, or we're just in a different parallel universe. I don't think it's parallel universe, though. I think once the illusion's gone, everything's gone. But the knights were real. They were actually defending them. I'm pretty sure. I don't know entirely. But I think I'm right. I think I am. But I could easily be wrong. By the way, upgrading the parrying dagger does not improve any of the parrying that you do with the dagger. However, it is used by the people of Kareem, I believe. So I think people like Lautrec favor this thing. Actually, Lautrec is from Kareem, so that would explain it very, very well. Anyway. We have Ricard's Rapier, which I hear is really good if you're going to magicify your tools. Oh, one second here. I'm going to convert the Occult Club into a Divine Club, so we are able to use it against Nito's skeletons. Highly recommend you guys do that before you fight Nito, so you can kill the 3 skeletons that are relatively annoying. Let's see here. What was I going to do again? I was probably going to upgrade the Baldur Shield. To be quite honest with you, probably a good idea. Let's grab 9 of those, reinforce the Baldur Shield to +5. See if we have anything left over to upgrade it to maybe up to +10. Looks like all we have is just the 1 Titanite Shard. Let's go ahead and upgrade that anyway. Oh right, we have to go over to Andre. Anyway, unfortunately. So actually, we just have the 1 Titanite thing. So I think we might as well just buy a couple. Buy a couple more. Get to level 2. Get to level 2 because I think that would be good. All right. Again, I don't generally buy these things. You can farm them in the DLC area. By the way, now that we're going to be getting our great magic weapon, we gotta go get the Staff of Ula's Seal. And that will also unlock our ability to enter the DLC. In the last episode, I did say, though, however, I was going to fight the 4 kings. That is, in fact, not true, considering I have learned about an alternate intro to Sif's fight. And Sif is probably my favorite boss in the entire game, not just because of how he is, or how he moves, I guess you could say, but it's just a simple fact that he reminds me of Okami. And that game is awesome. Also, you develop kind of a bond with Sif once you do the DLC area, and you guys will see that. I'm not going to spoil exactly how you develop that bond, but it's pretty important. However, now we are in the outside part of Anor Londo. As you can see, all the really good-looking areas have become dull and not that cool. Also, if you're wondering where Onion Bro went, he's actually over in Sen's Fortress, and I'm actually really scared to find out if he's not going to be there. And if he's not going to be there, I'll be really sad. However, there is the Firekeeper down there. She's pissed. She's angry. She was sent by Gwyndolin to fight me off because she originally was... Actually, no, I don't know what she originally was, but she is a Firekeeper, and if you kill her, her fire goes out. The one that we saw at the beginning of this area, her fire just goes out, and there's nothing you can do about it. Other than the fact that you probably could get by her without actually killing her. I've never tried that though. But she gets damn pissed, son. She doesn't like you anymore. So we're gonna have to finish her off, unfortunately. I'm so sorry, Firekeeper. You were my best friend.
But how? This woman is a threat, Master Gwyndolin.
So now the Firekeeper's dead and you get a free Firekeeper soul. Now, if you're wondering where you get the Firekeeper soul if you don't turn it into Dark Anor Londo, then all you have to do is let Lautrec kill Anastasia. Is that her name? I can't remember her name. She's really awesome though. Actually, I recommend don't go for the Ring of Favor. Don't do what I did. It's an awful idea, actually. I prefer letting Lautrec live so I can just get the little bit of bonding with the female character that we get to meet. Anyway, we have to go down here. This is also the way to access the Painted World, which I don't know if we're going to the Painted World right now because I don't know how much charcoal pine resin we have. Oh, we have 4. Okay, sweet. I guess we may be going to the Painted World. It is probably recommended highly that when you go to the Painted World you have at least like 3 charcoal pine resin. And you'll immediately know why once you start fighting those poison demon guys, because they will spray poison all over you. Now. Let me get the parry, please. Anyway, I'm going here regardless because there is a magical item I want. I've just recently noticed that Master Logan, who we didn't save, another person we keep forgetting to save actually, I've actually am learning a lot. Even though I've beaten the game multiple times now, I'm learning of a lot of things I usually miss or have never even realized existed until recently. And it's honestly really interesting to learn about these things, such as Logan is in Sen's Fortress, Onion Bro is in Sen's Fortress first, and then he comes to Anor Londo, and then he goes back to Firelink Shrine. And I really want to do those stories because honestly I haven't done the Onion Bro story quest yet, but I learned about it through watching other people on YouTube, because the great thing about this game, there is so much stuff to learn. I think it's almost unlimited, the amount of things you can learn about this game. All the different builds, all the different styles, all the different things you can do. It really is interesting. And I'm getting my ass kicked. Yeah, I've noticed that commentating and playing Dark Souls at the same time can really put a damper on your ability to play, and I've been doing commentaries for 2 years now while playing, and even still games can be... I have a freaking knife in my eye. Oh, that's pretty funny. But yeah, even still, games have become still a pretty big challenge as you live commentate and play the game at the same time. Anyway, we have 15 intelligence, and if we go to our magic, we need 15 intelligence to be able to use our great magic weapon. We can use it 3 times, and if we get the Ulasil staff, I believe it dramatically increases our ability to be more potent with the damage. And we'll just put that sucker on our sword when we are doing boss fights or need to get out of a situation where it grants us the ability to do so. And here is Iron Tarkus's gear. He also comes with the Great Shield and the Black Iron Great Shield, which I hear is a pretty decent shield. However, let's take a look at the strength requirement just to hold it. And remember, you need to hold shields in one hand. You're not going to two-hand these bastards. So, 34 strength. Actually, that's not as bad as I thought it was, because we are at, what, 27? So we're pretty close to being able to use that, although I'm not going to bump up my strength anymore. However, this is the Painted World, so if you guys want to know how to get there, this is the exact way to go. I don't know if we're going to go there in this episode, though, because I'm still pretty new to the Painted World. I've honestly only done the Painted World once. And the dagger that you get from Priscilla looks completely badass. Honestly, I want to do a whole playthrough with that dagger. It would just be so awesome to be the best warrior in the world. Anyway, we are going to switch our shield over to a crest shield, which has 80 magic defense, which is important because our next boss that we're going to be fighting is in fact Gwyn, or Gwyndolin, not Gwyn. I always get their names messed up because he names all his kids after himself. What kind of guy are you? Oh, whatever. Anyway, here is a bonfire, but don't trust this bonfire. This bonfire is completely untrustworthy. For some reason, either it's a glitch or a joke. This bonfire never sticks. If I sit on it, I will still spawn back at where I killed the illusion of Gwyndolin. So, unfortunately, even though you can warp from this bonfire, I don't think you can actually stay at that bonfire. And here's the Ring of the Firstborn. Let's take a look at the Ring of the Firstborn. If we toggle the ring, it says Lord Gwyn's Firstborn, who is Gwyndolin, who inherited. Gwyndolin. Yeah, Gwyndolin, not Gwynevere. So yeah, the Firstborn of Gwyn, who inherited the sunlight once wore this ancient ring, boosts the strength of miracles. Lord Gwyn's Firstborn was a god of war. But his foolishness led to a loss of annals and rescinding of his deific status. Today, even his name is not known. Actually, his firstborn is not Gwyndolin. I take it back. A lot of people actually think the firstborn of Gwyn is, in fact, Solaire. A lot of people think that. A lot of people do. But that's all I know. Anywho, let's go into the boss fight.
Heretic. First thou offendeth the Godmother, and now thou see fit to trample upon the tomb of the great Lord. I am the Dark Sun, Gwyndolin. Let the atonement for thy felonies commenceth.
Alright, so Gwyn is a magic wielder with snakes and stuff. Kinda like the Four Kings, except for in an extended hallway. And you can actually see the darn ground. Anyway, if you go like right to the corner here, these things are pretty easy to evade. Oh! That's not what you want to get hit by. And he's going to shoot me with poison darts, I think they are. Anywho, he's going to teleport out of the way so you can get a few hits on him. As he teleports away, again, recommended to, in fact... Whoa, 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 whoa. To, in fact, use the Crest Shield. Or some other shield that has decent magic defense. If you're like a heavy weapons guy, a strength build that has a lot of strength, you can use... Whoa, Havo Shield. Havo Shield's pretty good. If you hold your shield up and sprint, you can actually dodge roll. That's going to be the kill move, I'm pretty sure. There you go.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark, an eternal curse upon thee.
So, with Gwyndolin dead, you no longer can be invaded by his own covenant because he is now... he once was the area boss, and now he's not the area boss, which means that you cannot get invaded anymore. But the simple fact that he is an optional boss means that you don't actually have to go ahead and fight him. Anyway, now that we have killed Gwyndolin, we can go ahead and grab the Miracle Sunlight Blade. And we can also grab the Firekeeper armor, as we saw the other Firekeeper wear, which looks like really, really cool armor. And then there's this one. I'm pretty sure this is empty, and I don't know why that is. Actually, I've never really figured that out. and then there's just 2 hallways that we can take here. So I'm going to use a homeward bound because I'm lazy. Don't feel like running all the way back. Also, that ring right there, the ring of protection that we have, or the FAP ring, I guess you could call it. Being Lautrec's ring, he follows the goddess, I believe, Fina, or I'm pretty sure it's a goddess. And if you look at his armor, he actually has the goddess's arms wrapping around his chest, as if she's embracing him at all time. He always has her following him around, and there in spirit, I guess you could say. Anyway, we're gonna bump up our. We could either bump up our vitality or our dexterity. I'll bump up vitality, considering our vitality is about to take a major hit once we drop our ring of FAP, favor and protection. What am I doing? We can just warp on out of here. We don't need to do anything silly. Anywho, we are either gonna go to the Painted World, like I said, or we're gonna go and get the Hornet Ring without actually killing Sif. Actually, I know what we're gonna do now. We're gonna go to Firelink Shrine, and we are gonna go deal with Dusk. We're gonna go save Dusk, and to do so, you have to kill the. Freaking Hydra thing. I can't remember names. Anywho, don't go back to Gwyn. Or not Gwyn. Don't go back to Frampt if you want to get the extra dialogue from Kath. That is the dude. Anyway, I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, don't go talk to Frampt if you want to get the extra dialogue from Kath after you fight the 4 kings, because actually it's really, really interesting, and it definitely weighs your options at the end of the game. If you don't know what the end of the game is, then you obviously haven't beaten Dark Souls yet. And I don't really want to spoil the ending just now. So once we find Kath, then I'll probably start talking about the ending, and our options that we'll have at the end of the game. And why did I think I don't have that? Clearly I have that item. Anyway, if you're wondering why I'm going down this way, I think that this way is faster. I could be completely wrong. I probably am wrong, but you know what? I haven't timed either route. And if this route feels faster, then this route is totally faster. However, we haven't killed this dragon yet, and to be honest with you, he's pretty easy. If you get the Shadow Garb, the complete set of the Shadow Garb, and just put on most of the gear, you won't have any problems with getting a poison. Just make sure you're not in 60 frames per second on PC. I just set myself off that. We're gonna fight this guy, because why not? Anyway, he's not that bad. I say as I get totally hit. He's not that bad if you know how to fight him. Just gonna turn down my headphones. Damn, that's loud. Anyway, he has 2 attacks. He has a swiping attack that he hit me with, and then he has that poison attack, which is interesting. I can't actually hit him for some odd reason. Now, I don't have the Gravelord sword, which I actually really, really would like to have, which is a little bit unfortunate. I think it'll do a bit more damage. I could be wrong, though. Gravelord sword doing more damage than the plus 15 longsword? That's crazy. I don't know. Anyway, occasionally he will do his arm swipe. If you look at this little piece of grass here, though, if you stand back here, you are safe from the poison, you are safe from his swipe. So just run right back to the grass as a recall point. It appears that I can't actually hit him twice with my longsword, however, which is a little bit unfortunate. Also, if you don't run back and wait for him to do another puking attack, he will actually hit you, and he will get you killed. Well, not killed, but he'll just hit you and probably stagger you in the process. But he is no big deal. You can take him out with the Drake sword, you can take him out with the Gravelord sword, whatever is your fancy. I'm planning on doing a video on the Gravelord sword and how to get it as early as possible in the game with little to no challenge. I've learned of the fastest way to get it finally. And I think that was thanks to the German spy, who is an awesome YouTuber who does great Dark Souls work as well. So if you are interested in other Dark Souls Let's Players, or I don't think he actually Let's Plays the game, but he shows off some really cool stuff like trolling and in Dark Souls, and he's done some collaborations with the Epic Name Bro of all people, which is definitely very cool. But anywho, let's go now that we've claimed our 3,000 souls, a whopping 3,000 souls. I think you actually get more souls when you kill the guys from the Forest Covenant. Oh well, not a big deal. Hopefully this guy won't do the tail thing where he flings us off the side. It's happened way too many times. You guys have seen it, I think, in episode 4 when I restarted this series. Mid-series restart. And to be honest, it was for the better, because I'm not a fan of Pyromancer. But apparently the best way to go about leveling your character is by playing as a Pyromancer, since they start at level 1. However, I still don't start as a Pyromancer because it just doesn't seem like the most intelligent thing to go if you want to be a Dex build. I don't see how putting so many points into strength to get to 16 to use the sword I like using now, the Gravelord sword, is going to be worth it for me. So now that my starting weapon is in fact the Gravelord sword in almost every playthrough. Excuse me, I just had some tuna. And tuna always makes me act up, or makes my stomach act up, and yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about? Right. So, actually, I don't know why I even said right. I have no idea what I was talking about. Oh man, I apologize. This is probably not my best video in this series, and with all these issues going on that are related to my computer crapping out, it's honestly one of the most annoying parts. Not knowing if my computer could just crash in the middle of a playthrough or something like that, it can be a little bit of a pain. Anywho, we're gonna fight some of these Hydra dudes. Or not Hydra dudes, these crystal guys. It shouldn't be too tough to take out. Yeah, only about 2 shot. By the way, if we were to switch to the Uchigatana, or if we were to switch to the Aito, we would be significantly weaker even if they were plus 15 weapons. And the reason because of that is simply because we are not actually in the Dex build level of character yet. And we are more based around strength at the moment. So even though it seems like it'd be a great idea to go switch to a stronger weapon, that would be Uchigatana, it actually wouldn't fan out and equal out to be a better choice. So right now the longsword is our best option right now, and honestly you can get through the whole game with the longsword plus 15, and if you're playing online, which I am not with this character. Actually, I find that kind of unfortunate. I kind of wish I was online now, but at the time I started this playthrough, I've only completed the game once, and I still wasn't ready for PvP. But recently I've just taken a liking to PvP. It's actually really, really fun. However, we should probably equip the Rusted Ring. So let's go ahead and do that. And this allows us to run around in the water normally. It's actually a really, really good ring. Anywho, let's go mess some guys up. Now he's not going to do any of his silly magic attacks now that we're here. So I'm going to go quickly switch back to the Balder Shield. Plus 5, which should not be thrown back. The stability of the Balder Shield is way better than the other stuff, so I don't want to go for that one. If you notice, there's actually an edge. There's an edge to the water, so... Oops, I let go of block. Why would I do that? There's an edge to the water, and if you're not careful, you could easily get messed up. Anywho, let's cut this guard. Oh! I'm doing one-handed attacks here, too, because it does more damage to his health before you actually knock off his face, or knock off all his heads. As you can see, you're just doing damage to his body. You're not doing damage to the heads. Even though the heads kind of have their own health bar as well. So there goes that head as well. And we may have to equip barrows as well. Let's see if we can get this one. Yeah, there we go. The last one, or the last two, sometimes can be the biggest pain. I think one of the heads over there actually goes straight into the wall, which makes absolutely no sense. And then even when they're in the wall, they actually become immune. So that could be the biggest pain. And is it dead? No, I don't think so. So let's see if this one's actually going to cooperate. No, apparently he wants to shoot at me. I guess when you're just on the terrain, he decides to do that. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go ahead and equip the bow. Seems like a logical decision to make here. Yeah, he's not cooperating. So let's go equip the bow. We luckily still have some feather arrows to go, so let's do a little bit of pewing. And he can still hit his face with it, but I might as well just shoot his body, because still doing decent damage. And there we go. He is now dead Zors. Let's go grab longsword. And we have another dragon scale and Dusk crown ring, which also hints that Dusk is somewhere around here. So, by the way, this is basically the glass cannon ring. It grants extra sorcery castings, but halves the HP. It doesn't actually increase the damage, but yes, it does grant extra sorcery castings. Not exactly the most useful item if you have attunement slots, of course, to spare. But this magic crown-shaped ring was granted to the Princess Dusk of Ulasil upon her birth. The ringstone allows its wearer to cast additional sorceries, but at the cost of 1/2 of HP. Which means you're basically a glass cannon. And a lot of sorcerers, I assume, don't like to use that. They probably would rather put extra points into attunement, and then throw a couple extra versions of the spell into their attunement slots. Because if you don't know this, sorcerers can simply just buy multiples of the same spell, and by doing so, they are able to increase the number. So say Great Soul Arrow, I think it was, has 20 spells, and if you have a second version of the spell and put it into a second attunement slot, and you have both of them, basically instead of having 2 separate slots for spells, the one spell now has 40 uses. So it's just that simple. It's basic math, obviously. Anywho, there's a gold golem that's supposed to appear here. I'm going to pause the video and come back when I am done reloading. Okay, so this is reloading into the game, and the gold guy is there. Now, he actually is probably tougher than the Hydra itself, so be a little bit wary of fighting him, because he's not the nicest of gents, of course, in this game, but you can 3-shot him with the level 15 longsword, so we've come prepared. Actually, this is probably a beginning area place to go. Also, be careful of hitting Dusk, because she can die. So, be a little bit careful. Let's go talk to her, though.
So, 'tis thou who rescueth me. Most gracious, I am deeply obliged. I am Dusk of Ulasil. I cometh from an age long before thine. I cannot stay here for long. So, before I disappear, allow me to ask one thing. My home, Ulasil, is the home of ancient sorceries. My hope is to pass this profound knowledge to thee, with thine approval. Would this be of assistance to thee? My heartfelt thanks. I am pleased beyond words. Then I shout, engrave my signature. If thou art in need, pray summon me from my signature. It seems that my time is done. May the great flames guide thee.
Alright, so now Dusk has returned back to Ulasil, but she has left a signature for us to summon, of which will allow us to buy some spells, which is extremely important. I believe she is one of the 2 NPCs that allow you to buy Chameleon, Hidden Body, Hidden Sword, and her staff. The other of which would be in the DLC area. So if you're playing on the consoles and don't have Prepare to Die edition stuff, which I have no idea where the consoles are standing in the DLC realm of things, then Ulasil will be the only person that can give you that item, or those items. Anyway, you probably need to reload sometimes, but I didn't need to reload today, which is good for me. Actually, a lot of the times you don't need to reload, but the sign kind of moves around every now and again.
I am Dusk of Gwyn. It is an honor to see thee again. I shall follow thy wishes.
We are now allowed to learn a gesture, which is the proper bow. A lot of people like using proper bow. A lot more than just regular bow nowadays in duels. And let's go to purchase items. So we can purchase a ton of things here. Actually, I'm going to purchase Hidden Body. Chameleon's pretty hilarious for PvP, but we don't have that. And we're going to purchase the Ivory Catalyst, which only requires 12 sorcery and 3 strength to wield, which I'm pretty sure those are less than base stats of your mage's thing, or sorcerer starting class. And the description says sorcery catalyst of Lost Land of Ulasil, formed by enchanted white bark branches. The white bark boosts sorcery adjustment, but the sorcerers of this lost land are gentle and not affected by intelligence. So basically, this is one of those items that don't have scaling with intelligence, which is extremely useful. It has scaling with strength, so that's kind of useful. So we'll purchase this item here, and we can see that there's Hidden Blade, Chameleon, and Cast Light. You know, we'll grab Cast Light just in case we somehow forget it.
If thou art in need, pray summon me again. I only wish to be of some genuine assistance. May the flames guide thee.
Cool. So yeah, I only am grabbing the Cast Light spell just in case I for some reason completely forget it. Anyway, you want to equip your staff in the left hand so you can cast it onto your main hand, the spell that you need, or that I'm going to be using momentarily. I still haven't actually equipped it yet, but if you want to see what the staff looks like, that is the look for it. Basically looks like a tree, and that no one worked on it. It's kind of like a broken white staff of the White Wizard from Lord of the Rings, so I guess you could say something like that. Anywho, we can now head back and grab the bonfire, which is actually right at the bottom here, if I can recall. And next, I want to go and grab the Hornet Ring. And the reason I want the Hornet Ring is because I just want to get rid of the Ring of Favor and Protection, the Ring of Fap, because I just want to get it over with. I'm gonna destroy this ring. It's gonna be over with, and it's not gonna exist anymore in this world. And I'm gonna be okay with that because honestly, I like switching around rings more often. I can actually use the Darkwood Grain Ring, which we'll be getting momentarily. Oh man, I don't want to fight Sif straight up. You can get the ring without actually fighting Sif, but I don't want to accidentally maybe trigger it, but I don't know, we'll see what happens here. Anywho, these guys should be easy to one-shot. Not a big deal. First, let's just go grab our attunement slot. I think it's probably about time we go and get that and see how it's gonna fare in making us powerful. Oh, this guy's still alive. That's interesting. Wouldn't have expected him to still be alive, but I don't know. I kill him in so many other playthroughs. It's pretty crazy. He's pretty easy to get, and with the plus 15 longsword with decent stats, you are gonna have a decent time trying to take him out. Especially at level 53, when that guy is kind of a low-level demon. Anyway, there's Andre. I want to see if he can do us a favor and modify our Balder Shield to plus 6. Good stuff. And we are going to reinforce the weapon, because the higher your Balder Shield is leveled, the better stability it's going to have when you are using it in combat. And we need lots of stability before the end boss. Or not the end boss, but the end boss of the DLC. Because damn, that DLC is evil. Anywho, we now have this lovely bonfire grab, so if we do die, we'll be okay. Oh, and we can attune our magic. That's what we would do when we are attuning our magic. And Hidden Body is awesome, but we have only 2 attunement slots right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I will possibly use Hidden Body or grab the hidden ring, or the ring of fog, as it were called. And to get the ring of fog, you have to go to Snuggly and trade the skull lantern to Snuggly, and Snuggly will give you the ring of fog, which is an extremely useful ring for the DLC area. It's almost like a must-have if you want to get past most of the enemies without having to deal with their bullshit. And trust me, there's a lot of bullshit right at the beginning. However, apparently you get the Ring of Calamity in the DLC area. I never even knew about that. I didn't even know you could get the Calamity Ring only in the DLC. I actually thought that the Calamity Ring was actually a feature already in the old Souls games. Or not the old Souls games, but in the original release of Dark Souls, actually, for, you know, the original patches and everything like that. I had no fracking idea. I just had no idea, no clue at all. Anyway, we're going to use the Crest of Artorias here that Andre had, and we bought it off him for 20,000 souls. You can get into this area with killing the Hydra. So if you are worried about getting some good stuff early on without having to spend the souls, you can do that, but then you have to go the ass end way. Anyway, whole ass here you can get directly to the cat, and once you talk to the cat, then the cat will be okay with you being around all its allies. So just gotta talk to the cat and then walk away, and no one cares about you anymore, so you're fine. You are 100% fine, and I'm about to show you guys probably the strongest armor in the game, and probably rated as the strongest armor ever before the Darkwood Grain Ring was patched out. The stone armor. It's exactly the same armor as those stone golem guys were wearing in the forest here. Anywho, am I allowed to grab the Hornet Ring and then leave? Because there is no boss fog for Sif. I don't believe there is any boss fog for Sif. You just open the door and then that's it. So I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to fight Sif. I honestly don't. He's such an awesome character, and he just becomes more awesome when you do the DLC first. So probably we'll see if we don't have to kill him, and I'm pretty sure you don't have to. Anyway, as you can see, that animation indicates that you're using the Crest of Artorias again, and there's no boss fog. Okay, good. I believe the boss fog only exists when you trigger the boss fight. Also, keep in mind of the look of this area. Look at the outside of it. Is there, you know, waterfall? You can see the structure on the outer side. That sword is very important lore-wise, especially when we do the DLC area. Note how I'm going way freaking around this sword because I don't want to activate the boss fight. And then... oh, it's gonna break. Oh, boo. Well, there's that. That is now broken. And now we can equip the Wolf Ring and the Hornet Ring at the same damn time. But we're not done yet. I want to go get the Dark Moon Ring. And yes, we're probably going to have to murder some people to get back into this place. Normally when I go here, I kill Sif and leave. However, when I figure out about fighting him after the DLC area, I just can't. I just can't fight him. Anywho, is there like a ladder that goes down here? Or no? I don't think so. See, it looks like you can probably just jump off the side here, but that'll probably kill you. So, but this water here looks like the boss fight that allows you to get the Calamity Ring. Again, though, I've never fought that boss. I've never fought him. Never. So, I have no idea if he's dangerous or not. By the way, the parents of these goddamn mushrooms have the best falcon punch ever. Like, they are the strongest mushrooms ever. They will break your heart in one punch. They are the Chuck Norris mushrooms. You should stay the hell away from them. They are not messing around, man. They want to eat you and kill you, I guess. I guess mushrooms like eating people, so note to self, don't fight mushrooms in real life. They will probably do crazy things like murder you. Hey, oh, do we already have... Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, we already have the Dark Moon. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is weird. Alright, 1 second.
Is it not so that thou art new? Thou fared well to find me, but cometh thee not for the grave of Sir Artorius? My advice true. Forget this. The legend of Artorius art none but a fabrication. Traversing the dark. 'Tis but a fairy tale. Have thine own respect. Go not yonder knocking for nothing, I say. Well, indeed, thou art a strange one. Nevertheless, I feel some liking for thee. I'm Alvina of the Darkroot Wood. I command a clan of hunters who track down defilers of the forest graves. What dost thou say? Wilt thou not join us? Oh, yes, I believe we would suit thee well. I am very glad. And now thou art one of us. Let us establish a covenant. And here taketh this ring. If thou wearest that ring, it allows for thine summoning. If mine senses reveal intruders, then I will summon thee. Fend them off, sir. I beseech only this. I shall summon others who will, by their honor, work tirelessly with thee. Thou shalt receive great reward, and whatsoever ye shall pillage will be thine own. A true agreement, not so? But thou must heed the golden rule. The clan is thine own family. To thine kinsman forever stay true. Darest not in any attempt to double-cross. Have no doubt, such wretchedness never will we tolerate.
So now we have joined the Darkroot, well, I don't know what they're called, the Forest Hunters, I guess they're called. And we have this Cat Covenant ring, which allows us to instantly be pulled back here and invade some misfits, some people that have attempted to invade here that are not part of the Covenant. Anywho, I've come here for this ring, which we get by, well, I guess we probably could just straight up kill this guy if we want, instead of have to reload. Let's fight him the manly way, I guess. Let's try this. There we go. Oh boy. He's angry. Right. That's the Hornet Ring at work for you. Humanity and Darkwood Grain Ring. Anyway, we're just gonna get the hell out of here. It's a little dangerous now because everyone is very angry at us, actually. And by everyone, I mean everyone. Yeah. So anyone that is using hidden body as well, they are also respawnable. So they are the ones that you can fight over and over again and practice your parrying and riposting and practice against different kinds of builds. So yeah, that's if you're interested in any of that. Anywho, I think that we have to deal with this guy, huh? Oh, and that guy. So let's see if we can get out of here. Probably should have just used the homeward bow, and that might actually be a good idea. That might actually be a good idea. Let's get the hell out of here. Alright, so now we have dealt with those guys. We've gotten the Hornet Ring, we've gotten the Darkwood Grain Ring, which honestly is one of my favorite PvP rings of all time, combined with the Hornet Ring. And if we have less than 25% in our equip load, we are able to do the flip. which gives us more invincibility frames as well as we recover faster. So this is probably one of my favorite rings in the game. And a lot of the times I'll either roll with this and the wolf ring, or this and the hornet ring. Hornet ring generally just to get the parries. But yeah, that is how I like to do it. So we have freed Dusk, we have gotten the ring, the one ring to rule them all, and I think in the next episode we will go and finish the Painted Garden, and then we'll go fight Seath the Scaleless, and then after the Seath the Scaleless fight we'll go do the DLC content, then Nito, then the Four Kings, or then Seath, I guess. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along, but this episode has been going on for a little bit of time. So without further ado, I'm Ackerman 101, guys, and I will see you in the next episode.